Hi, I'm Alan Lowenthal, and this afternoon we're going to be talking about the California Consumer Privacy Act, also known as CCPA. I cannot think of another topic that's keeping chief marketing officers and marketing agencies, CEOs awake at night more than this one. CCPA was passed last year and went into effect on January 1 of this year, 2020. What does the CCPA provide California consumers with? What rights do they now have that they didn't have before? First, they have the right to know what personal information of theirs a company is using, acquiring, sharing, or selling. They have that right. Second, they have the right to request the deletion of some or all of that personal information that they may have provided your company, or similar information that's held by one of your service providers that was given to you. It could be a payment processor, it could be a shipper, but they have the right to have them delete the personal information from their records also. And finally, they have the right to forbid your company from selling their personal information to any third party. Who is subject to CCPA? First, does your company have gross revenues of $25 million or more? If so, you're required to comply with CCPA. Second, does your company buy, sell, acquire the personal information of at least 50,000 California consumers, households, or their personal devices? If you do, you're under CCPA. And finally, three, does your company derive 50% of your annual gross revenues from the sale of the personal information of California consumers? If you fall into any one of those three buckets, you're under CCPA and must comply. What are the bad things that can happen if your company does not comply? California is able to impose fines of anywhere from $2,500 per violation of the act to $7,500 per violation if it's intentional. Second, the CCPA provides for a private cause of action that can be brought by a California consumer or, more likely, a class of California consumers. The damages that consumer or that class of consumers can obtain is anywhere from $100 per affected consumer to $750 per consumer per incident. Again, an incident, if there's a breach, if there's a hack, and there's a determination that you weren't in compliance, your company was not in compliance with CCPA, and it only affects 1,000 California consumers, you're immediately looking at a potential liability of at least anywhere from $100,000 to $750,000. Your company's customers need to be able to determine and find out the personal information your company is collecting from them. They need to be able to have the ability to have your company delete some or all of that personal information. And they also need to be able to communicate to you not to in any way sell their personal information to any third party. Additionally, your company needs to have what's referred to as a do not sell my personal information link. Typically that is on the first page of your homepage online. It should also be in your privacy policy. And I recommend that the notice or a button with a link to the notice also be contained on every page in which the customer or prospective customer adds and inserts his or her personal information. One of the most important things your company can do is have satisfactory and complete training for the employees of your company that are going to be touching personal information of your customers. processes and procedures need to be in place that those employees know how to follow and learn how to follow. Finally, CCPA is not going away. There are at least a dozen other states that either have similar laws on the books or have legislation that's been introduced that will impose the same or more likely similar requirements on your company. Unlike prior privacy laws that have been put out, many times which only required your company to change or tweak its privacy policy, CCPA and the spawn of CCPA require much, much more, and involves not just someone in IT, but also other areas of your company. It can be people in marketing, certain people in sales, people in any kind of data processing, payment processors, shippers, etc. Should you have any questions regarding CCPA, I strongly encourage you to give me a call at 313-618-7447. Thank you.